Alright guys, I'm here with Jenny, our resident nutritionist. Most of you should know her from the gym or from SugarWOD, where you've been seeing the daily nutrition tips. If you haven't been checking those out, please check them out. You can just have a look at the track of the day, change it to Jenny's nutrition tips. And yeah, so Jenny.
So today we're going to run a scan. Basically what these scans are is very similar to the bioimpedance scales of kind of the olden days that you used to go on with bare feet, and it would send a pulse through your body and it would give you not only your weight but also then your body fat percentage, and some of them also did some muscle percentage as well. But of course, if you're only going on a scale where you're putting your feet on it, then it's sending the current up one leg and down the other, and therefore you're only getting a lower body reading. Some of them you can hold on to some hand holding scales, I suppose, and it then completes the circuit around the whole body. But it's still quite unsophisticated, doesn't really give you a very precise measurement. And so basically the difference with the sculpt is that actually it is being placed on 24 muscles around the body, and therefore because you're actually being quite precise in where you're putting it on the muscle, then it's giving you a body fat reading and a muscle quality reading, importantly, for each one of those muscles. So what that can then show you is it can show you the body fat percentage for the body overall, the muscle quality for every single muscle around the body and then overall, and it will also show you any muscular imbalances and any sort of strengths and weaknesses that you need to address in your training. So it's really useful for people who are going through a body composition change, who are looking to maybe combine their diet change with quite a heavy training regime, like for example CrossFit, because of course for the first, at least the first probably year and a half, people are going to be putting on a fair old bit of muscle, and it can be really disheartening if you're just focusing on that number on the scale. So this gives you a much more realistic picture, it gives you a baseline to work with.
Yeah, we see that quite a lot.
Yeah.
And people are, I haven't lost any weight.
Yeah.
But yeah, trying to explain to them you are gaining muscle.
Exactly.
You know, so it's really nice that you can actually see that is what's happening to your body.
Yeah, absolutely. And it gives you the data on your phone, so you can keep the data for the whole time that you've got that phone. Basically, you can log into the app at any from any kind of device, and what it means is that you can compare like for like. So whilst this isn't the sort of top standard, the gold standard of body fat testing, which is a DEXA scan, it's very, very similar, and I've actually had a DEXA scan and then used this, and I found it to be within 1% of the readings. So it gives you a good barometer to actually be able to see your progress.
Cool. And as a product from yourself, what would this cost someone?
So this on its own would be £20 for 3 scans, and those 3 scans can be over any period of time, so they can be monthly.
Great for tracking your progress.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, great to track your progress both from a training perspective and to see whether you're bringing up those imbalances across the body, but also to track body fat loss. But if you wanted to come along for a nutrition consultation, then this is part and parcel of the nutrition consultation, especially if we're going for body recomp. We would look at taking measurements around the body as well as doing the sculpt, so that you've got a baseline from that first consultation, and then we would take the follow-up measurements in the follow-up meetings.
Okay, and then would you do offer nutrition advice from that point, or is that like diet building, or what would you do from there?
Yeah, so it's ideally to empower people to make decisions on their own. So I don't do diet plans.
That is the best way.
Yeah, for sure. It's all about education.
Yeah.
So it's all about giving people the tools that they need to be able to put together the meals that they want, because there's always going to be certain things that some people do like to eat, some people don't like to eat, and it's absolutely pointless me giving a meal plan that's kind of pre-programmed that contains a whole load of foods.
Eat fish and rice cakes 6 times a day, you lose weight.
Exactly, and people don't want to follow that, and then it's short-lived, and then you're kind of on a plan and then off a plan. Whereas if we go through the background of exactly what that person's trying to achieve, and we look at the foods they like, the foods they don't like, and what we do is we just make small tweaks and changes. My ultimate aim is to help people to make the smallest number of changes for the biggest achievements and the biggest goals for them.
Yeah, you don't want to feel like it's a burden to your life, like your daily life.
Yeah. Exactly.
It's got to be an easy part that you enjoy.
Yeah, it's got to be achievable and it's got to be sustainable as well, because anything to do with nutrition, you know, if you're looking to change your nutrition, it's got to be about, you know, just ongoing improvements rather than just sticking to a plan for 12 weeks and then coming off and going back to exactly how you ate before.
Cool.
Perfect.
Alright guys, what we're going to do, we're going to do the scan now, and we'll come back to you in a bit with showing you kind of what goes on. Alright guys, we're just going to go through what the app does on your phone and some of the features on there, and Jeni's going to talk about what they are.
Okay, so you get 2 main readings from doing the scan, and it presents it in this sort of anatomy figure. You can see the muscle quality for every single muscle that we've scanned, so all 24, and you can zoom in on a bit more detail for each muscle just to see exactly what the actual rating out of 100 is. And you can also then look at the body fat as well. So for the muscle quality, the darker the colour, the stronger the muscle, and it's not to do with the size of the muscle, it's actually the power output. So you can see on here that we've got a few imbalances across the various muscle groups.
And this is your profile?
This is my profile, yeah. And then we can also look at body fat percentage as well. So on this, the lighter the colour is the higher the body fat percentage. So you can again zoom in on certain muscle groups and it will give you that information, and it will show you over time, over the scans that you've been doing, exactly how you've been moving your body fat, hopefully in a downwards direction, and your muscle quality in an upwards direction. You can also flip the person so that you can see exactly what's going on the back as well, and the posterior chain. So you can actually address any imbalances that might be present both with the body fat and with the muscle quality through the analysis feature. So you can view your imbalances, you can look at the imbalances that have been detected across the body, and then drill down into a bit more detail as to what exercises are going to be best for those particular muscle groups in order to address those imbalances. So the benefit of this is that actually with your training plan and with the programme that you're following through the OXHOUSE, you can look at the workout of the day, you can work out whether that's going to be suitable for your particular muscular imbalances, you can speak to Adam or any of the other coaches and just get them to advise you really as to whether we can integrate this into your programme, or you can do it as extra work, you can do it in open gym, and then over the course of your scans you can then see the results of your muscles actually coming into more of a symmetry.
Cool, thanks Jeni. 1 second. Right guys, we've done my scan already. I couldn't film it at the same time because I'd use my phone for the app. So we're just going to show you quickly kind of what Jeni does so you've got an idea what to expect when you turn up.
Okay, perfect. So if you can take your top off please. So we use, it's just normal water to spray onto the sensors of the handheld device, and that's just so that the...
Check we're in shot.
Yeah.
There we go.
Perfect.
Just about... There we go, that'll do.
Okay, we're going to move around as well.
Yeah.
So that's just so that the circuit can be completed, and so that the signals that are sent out from the handheld device can go through the skin. So we just spray on a little bit of the water, and we go left to right around the body. So as we scan, it then shows up on your phone as to the muscle quality and also the body fat percentage for that particular area, and then we move on to the next muscle group. So the first one we would do would be the left shoulder, and then we would move around to the right shoulder, and we would do the left tricep, and then we do the right tricep. And each of the scans takes about between 5 and 10 seconds to register to the phone. We do that 24 times around the body, and then we have then an overall picture of the muscle quality and the body fat, and then we can look at each individual muscle and body area.
Cool.
Thank you.